Hello everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to yet another event on Tech Edge, one of the most sought after series of WIRC of ICI. I'm Arpit Kabra, the chairman of West India Regional Council, and I welcome all of you to this Tech Edge series. Today we are gonna see some little bit of automation using TallyPrime 3.0, and we have Dhara Gandhi over here and Parth Patel who will be setting this up. Arun Shinde is a coordinator for us, and thank you, Arun, for taking your time and joining us. Before we could begin, let's put our hands to our heart for the ICI motto song.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome once again. A warm welcome and good afternoon once again. At WRC, we are very happy and we're very excited. We just uh, have finished a wonderful first of its kind program called Startup Sphere. First time ever in the history of ICI, and in fact, never ever thought of a startup ecosystem, all the aspects of startup ecosystem which are there today, thanks to the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Ji Modi. I think all of them was set up here in Geo World Convention at Mumbai. And what an event. We had a heavy industries minister from Maharashtra, Shri Udayji Samant, speaking about how awestruck he was looking at the kind of arrangements that CS could do and the kind of event that we can pull off. He never expected a chartered accountants to, have this kind of a program. And therefore, outright on the stage, he invited us for the Magnetic Maharashtra, which is going to happen in December. A proud feeling for all of us, and what a better timing for this wonderful gesture. We are about to celebrate our 75th CA Day. 1st July will be a legacy day for us, will be a very memorable day for all of us. And wow, what a legacy that we are all enjoying. 75 years of a regulator, as old as the country, the Amrit Kal, as Modi ji has given us the vision of. And I think we are all working towards that. We are all entering into the Amrit Kal for ICI. And I'm sure with all of your support, we are going to do amazingly well in the times to come. For 1st July, we'll be having our flag hosting at our BKC Tower, ICI Tower BKC at 9 a.m. Then we have our very important and a very most sought after program called Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, the cultural program wherein we celebrate the singing talent, the musical talent, the bands of chartered accountants. That will be held till from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at ICI Khimji Kumarji becomes Auditorium in ICI Tower BKC, followed by a cultural evening called Cultural Rhythm, called at Thakur Auditorium, Kandivli East in Thakur Village, from 6 p.m., 5 p.m. onwards. Dances, skits, stand-ups, and various other live bands would also be there in this event. And we just want to have a wonderful event marking the 75th CA Foundation Day for all of us. And all of you are invited. Please join us at BKC in the morning and at Thakur Auditorium in the evening. And let's all come together, enjoy this wonderful space. Today, of course, there was a small bad news that we all had to face. The Tech Ed series, as you all know, was is is managed by our DAP committee chairman, CA Shweta Jain madam. She just lost her mother today, and we really feel very sorry and a great loss that she's had, and therefore she couldn't join us today. But yes, today we have Dhara Gandhi and Parth Patel for Tally. They'll be doing all of this for us. Arun Shinde will be joining us for this. Um, Before I could, go ahead, a small little initiative. Mishraji, if you can please put up the slides. These are some of the initiatives that we have launched at WIRC. One of these that I would love all of you to please focus on is automation. And today is a Tech Ed series. On Thursdays, we celebrate automations in small offices and big offices or wherever. If at all that you need any automation that you want to set up in your office, you can feel free to reach out to us. Today, I think on GST, we'll be using Tally and how can we use our accounting software to set up automation in GST reconciliation XYZ. So today that would be happening. And if you have any case study or if you have any other areas where you wish that you feel it is repetitive and monotonous and you want to automate it, please write to us. Some of us at WRC would be happy to solve those automation and set it up for you for your offices. I would request Mishra, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Please put up the slide quickly. At WRC, we've got Gurukul at WRC, one of these important programs that we've launched. And what we want to do in that is, for every chartered accountant who's in industry or in business, every member who is in industry or business, we want to invite them, and through them, we want to invite all other chartered accountants in their industries to have a training session. If they are unable to do these trainings for their chartered accountant members, WRC wants to be your training partners. You can give us that entire responsibility of training your staff here in WRC. All the members in your staff, we can invite them on. So we have clubbed recently. We've clubbed 7 small little private limited companies and their staff, CA staff, and we've invited them to set that up over here in WIRC, and their trainings were taken under the Gurukul at WRC project. Your whatever topic that you want. So commonly found errors in reporting statements, or maybe chat GPTs or AIs or forensics or ESG or social audits. Any of these, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to do that. Apart from Gurukul at WRC, we've also started a project called as Nest Cafe at WRC, and there is one Samvad Vishwas Ka. Any issues on trust, taxation, and compliance, feel free to reach out to us. I think all of these is what we have set it up. I would request Arun to please introduce Dhara, and then we can take this session ahead. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. CA Dhara Gandhi is a member of prestigious Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Company Secretary of India, also duly possessing a bachelor degree in commerce. She is a practicing chartered accountant, spreading her enterprise into direct and indirect taxation. She has gained work experience with one of the largest stock exchange, BSE Limited, Mumbai, as a listing reviewer, reviewing various cases of listing of the initial public offers, IPOs, further public offers, FPOs, direct listing, etc. She has also worked and gained experience with reputed CA firm as a taxation manager, dealing with direct tax and indirect tax compliances. Apart from conducting various lectures on subject of GST implementations and the guidance in various seminars, cooperative bank, etc., she has also provided various lectures at ICA Mumbai branch, Nagpur branch, Bhuj branch, Satara, Pimpri Chinchwad, Ahmednagar branches, Anand branch, etc., on the subject of income tax, GST annual returns, audit, and tally. She is a regular resource person to the ICA Mumbai branch and Nagpur branch. She has provided successful lecture through webinar on practical use of Tally ERP 9, TallyPrime for GST returns and audit, organized by Jai Hind College, Mumbai, and Indian Accounting Association with more than 2,000 attendees. She is one of the core members of Tally team and has provided many lectures on Tally, on audit through TallyPrime for CA community. She has also specialized in Tally support and Tally customization as per organization needs. She used to be visiting faculty at various institutions providing lectures for financial services and capital markets subject to CA final student. She is always keen to learning about the latest updates across the professions globally with a major trust on the means and application of upgrading technology in professional services field. With this, I welcome CA Dhara Gandhi to take the lecture further. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this introduction for us. Dhara, over to you. Parth is also here, and he would be helping in case of you would have any questions. Please feel free to post them in the chat box, and Parth will try and compile them, and then together they will try and resolve. These are some of the initiatives that we started. We can always, if any of these are interested, you find anything interesting, you can feel free to reach out to us. More than happy to help you and assist you in any of your requirements at your offices or in your careers. Thank you and look forward to interact with you. Wishing you all a happy 75th CA Foundation Day. Over to you, Dhara.
Thank you so much, Arpitji. Thank you so much, Arunji, for introduction. So let's start with our most booming topic today, TallyPrime 3.0, which has been just launched some days or months back. So can I just share my screen if at all? Is it visible? Yeah. Okay, thank you. So Tally 3.0, Tally Prime and Tally Company is launching more and more updates to help getting accounting done properly, getting the compliance work done properly. So one thing which we regularly have issues with is GST reconciliations, GST return filings. So we have to jumble through various software. Somebody is using Tally software, somebody is using XYZ software, then taking a data from Tally to another software and then filing a return. It is taking too much of time of the professionals, I think, for complying with the GST compliances. And definitely, in case of any error, even if clerical error, we readily get notices from GST department. So this TallyPrime release 3.0 has done almost a wonderful job to, comply with this GST return reconciliation, GST monthly return, GSTR 1, 3B. Even they are very helpful in compiling annual return 9 and 9C of GST. So today we'll be taking up some of the important features for GST compliances through TallyPrime 3.0. Some of the filters we'll see which will be very useful to us while conducting tax audits or company audits through TallyPrime 3.0, which is going to save a lot of time of the professionals to dig into the data of the company. And we'll be taking some new features which TallyPrime 3.0 has released now, which was not there in previous versions. So I'll be running live cases of various seminars, which I've taken various seminars in 3.0. So I'll be taking some live queries from them, which I feel बहुत सारे लोगों को same queries होती है. So I'm trying to take up every possible thing regarding GST and filters of new release of TallyPrime 3.0. So today mainly we'll be taking multi-GST-IN. So now Tally has given this inbuilt function of multi-GST-IN in Tally. So I'll help you how to use it and what is the purpose of it. Then reconciliation of GSTR 2A, 2B, which we are generally struggling to reconcile every month, and GST return filing made easy. Some efficient filter options, some vouching number cascading effects, how we can change that effects. And certain payment links and QR options are given by TallyPrime. So we'll see how we can inculcate that in our tax invoices. So first we'll be taking multi-GST-IN. So in previous versions of Tally, there was a specific addition you need to do in Tally to use this multi-GSTN feature. Now in Tally 3.0, this is an inbuilt function of multi-GSTN feature. Through some F11 or F12 feature, you can activate this multi-GSTN feature. We'll be taking some configurations for GST filing and compliances. Some configurations regarding GST rate setup and their effective dates, then fastest access to GST returns and more seamless reconciliation experience. So this is just a business case wherein there are two branches of same office, suppose one at Karnataka, one at Telangana. They have two separate GST numbers for both the office, obviously, as both the states are different. So people are usually struggling to manage to consolidate this data and to file GST returns. And if the data is consolidated, then manually they have to bifurcate transactions between Karnataka office and Telangana office. But now with this multi-GSTIN feature, we can do this very easily. I'll show how we can do that, how this multi-GSTIN will showing data of different GST number in different ways. So just passing an entry under Karnataka registration, you can see separate bill number series for this. Just putting an entry, normal sale voucher entry. Respective GST. This entry has been done for Karnataka registration. Now I'll be just using this F3 feature and change the registration to Telangana registration. Yes. So from same tally, we can use multiple GST registration. We can pass multiple entries under multiple GST registrations. So we'll just pass a normal accounting entry. Similarly, sale voucher. You can see separate sale bill number series for Telangana registration. Their respective output taxes. So let's see how does it reflect in our GST returns. So basically you could see there were two voucher entries done here, one for Karnataka branch and one for Telangana branch. So we can create n number of GST, we can add n number of GST registration to this multi-GST and features, for which you can pass separate sale, purchase, expenses, whatever entry you want for specific registrations. And definitely you can mark that registrations under specific head. We'll definitely see how to create this new GSTI number in TallyPrime and how it will be reflected in GST returns. The slide is a bit hefty, so it is taking time to process. Just a moment. I'll restart the slide. Give me a minute, please. Really sorry for the technical glitch. So we have seen two voucher entries done in separate registration. Now we'll see how this entry reflect in our GST return. Just go to display reports, GST reports, GSTR1. Here you can see all registrations. That means both the branches GST consolidated data can be seen here. We'll again use F3 feature. Suppose we are taking Karnataka registration. So this is GSTR1 specifically for Karnataka registration, B2B invoice. This is the entry we have passed in Karnataka registration. Similarly, we can again go to F3 feature. We'll check Telangana registration. The entry which we have shown under Telangana registration is reflecting under GSTR1 of Telangana. All registration consolidated we can see separate for both the registrations here also. This is how GST reports are being reflected in case of multi-GSTIN feature if we are using. So now here we can define registration, separate e-invoicing for every GSTIN, separate e-way bill for a separate GSTIN, which can be generated in just a single click. Various voucher series can be used for various GST number, branches, and etc. So we'll see how we can do that. Again, we are just using a feature F11 on Gateway of Tally, enable GST feature. Here you can see two Karnataka registration and Telangana registration. We'll be creating one more registration here, suppose for Delhi. We'll be putting GST number for Delhi branch. Invoicing if applicable from which date. Delhi office. So here we have one option. So here, as soon as we open up new GST number, we add new GSTIN to our TallyPrime, we'll get an option that do you want to create a unique voucher number series for this specific GST registration? You can also do this by going to chart of accounts and selecting the relevant voucher types. Now open chart of accounts. So now from one click, we'll be selecting various chart of accounts, vouchers in various chart of accounts, and just through one configuration, we'll be setting a separate series for separate GSTIN number. How we can do that? Let's see. So I'm doing yes. So I'm selecting multiple voucher type amongst some which I feel which will be useful for Delhi office. We'll go to create voucher number series. We'll name the voucher number series. We'll use method of voucher numbering. So now you can see Delhi registration separately with separate series of different vouchers. So you don't need to go and alter each and every voucher and to create a separate series for Delhi, Karnataka or Telangana. You just need to go to chart of accounts, select multiple voucher numbers from voucher types from it, and through one click you set up a series with prefix or suffix to the accounting entry. So this will be very useful for, invoice bifurcation, expenses bifurcations of various office. Definitely we can use filter options to bifurcate things among this. So now this is a basic question. Can I configure a common voucher numbering across GSTIN for any specific voucher type? Yes. Either you can use common voucher numbering for all the GSTIN, or you can use separate voucher numberings for all the GSTIN. So I think practically we use separate voucher numbers for all GSTIN so that all the transaction doesn't get mixed up. Another question is, can I generate branch-wise financial reports like balance sheets and profit and loss account, etc. from multi-GSTIN? So multi-GSTIN has given this inbuilt feature for GST compliances perspective. So as of now, you cannot generate branch-wise financial reports like balance sheet, profit and loss accounts from this TallyPrime 3.0. But definitely this can be a little bit customized if you want. And if we jumble with certain voucher name and series, it can be done. But that would be a little bit tedious job to do it. So for as of now, this multi-GSTIN features is working wonder in case of GST compliances. While raising GST invoice, can system pick up the address with respect to the company address according to GSTIN? Yes, we can do this by enabling multiple address option from F11 during GST registration creation. Tally gives you the flexibility to select the default billing address of the company. So now suppose taking an example, if within the same state, if the within the same state, different cost, different point of sale is located. So now do we have an option to select multiple addresses from where billing is to be generated? Yes, it is possible. You just need to activate that feature from using this F11 option. So things to keep in mind before deploying this multi-GSTIN. A separate data set would be required if the organization wants GSTIN or branch-wise financial statements. So I already said that a perfect financial statement branch-wise, if you need, then separate data needs to be maintained. This is done only on the only for supporting GST compliances. If the organization wants to allow its user to view only their specific GST and they don't want to show other data to the users, then definitely different tally needs to be maintained. The organization wants to allow its user to record the transaction only for their specific GSTIN or branch. In case of inter-GSTIN sale and purchase, separate entries are to be made in respective GSTIN. Definitely, as we have to, even if having same PAN, there are two different GST numbers. So for same company, if you are transferring goods from one branch to another branch or doing sale purchase transaction between branches, then definitely you have to pass entries branch wise in this tally. Suppose one under Karnataka and one under Telangana, then only it will be properly reflected in books of accounts. Only the consolidated outstandings can be viewed in case of branches are dealing with a common party. Definitely, if there are common parties in the company, then consolidated outstanding balance you will get. You won't get balance according to branches. For syncing data of different GSTIN, a few disciplines need to be followed. So for using these features, certain few things we need to keep in mind. Master configurations to be kept same for all the branches. If you are changing this master configuration for various branches, it would be difficulty. You would find difficulty in generating GST returns from it. Return signing information will not be synced. It will have to be signed again on HO level. In case of two-way sync, all HO information will sync to branch. जो head office होगा, HO information branch से sync होगा. Impact due to an increase in data volume in the consolidated company. And definitely, if the data is very huge, the Tally might slow down, but for that also Tally has their own server to support multiple users in one data. So you can give a try for that also. So these things need to be keep in mind while using this multi GSTIN option in TallyPrime 3.0. So we'll see some more configuration and flexible features while filing this GST return. So this is one business use case where a party registration details has been changed from unregistered to registered. Suppose till now, some of my party was B2C. So in middle of the year, if party has been converted from B2C to B2B, so how can I effect that change in TallyPrime without effective past returns and past entries? Second case would be company's registration details change from regular to composite or vice versa. How will we do that change in Prime? And third, business status become active or inactive. You all are very well aware that GST inspection drive is going on now. So if in case of any dispute, if they temporarily suspend the GST number, then how to deal with it in TallyPrime. So we'll see these cases. So there is one amazing option given by TallyPrime 3.0, that is to put an effective date to every transaction. If we put this effective date, the effect won't be retrospective, but from the date of change. How we can do that, I'll show you. First case, the customer with whom the business was dealing was not registered under GST, got now registered under GST. So in case till date, if any customer was B2C and now has been converted to B2B, how can we deal with this transaction? So we'll go to display more reports, GST reports, GSTR1. We'll go to B2C transaction. Supervise view. I'm just randomly picking up one company. Till up to 19th May, it was classified as B2B. Now the customer has informed that they have converted themselves to B2B. They have GST number now. We just go and alter the ledger. We are converting them from unregistered to registered dealer. As soon as we put GST number, we'll get an option of effective date. So we need to put from which date the company was registered under GST. So suppose it's 20th May. Again, we'll go back to see the effect. We are just passing one entry. Suppose on 22nd, same party. We're just putting a sample sale invoice, respective output taxes. Now we'll see how it is reflecting in GST returns. We go and check GST returns, GSTR1. Go to B2B transaction. So you will see just one transaction here. All the transaction apart from this transaction are still with B2C entries. And from the effective date, if I pass the entry for that ledger, it will be reflected in B2B. So importance of this effective date is, अगर last month के GST returns filed होके freeze हो गए, definitely at the time of conducting audit or while filing GST annual returns, we don't remember that how this party has been shifted from B2C to B2B. So through this effective date, it would be easier for us to track the data first. And second, the already filed return data won't be touched. So through this effective date, a retrospective effect won't be given in any way to previous data. And from that effective date, we'll be converting the party from B2C to B2B. So you might have seen the same month data up to 19th of May, the parties is still there at B2C, and after effect of 20th, the party has been converted to, the entry has been converted to B2B. So this is the second case. The business was registered under GST as a composite dealer and now got registered as a regular dealer or vice versa. So how to give effect to this without giving retrospective effect to tally data? F11 feature we are using, enable GST and service tax feature. Suppose we are taking Telangana registration. We are converting this from regular to composite. Effective date here also, you have to give effective date from which date the company has been shifted from regular to composite dealer. So effective date we are giving here. Except. So previous data of the same registration is still untouched. We'll see how. Go to GST reports. Now CMP 08 and GSTR 4 is reflecting. So before this date, the previous data would be untouched, and as soon as you give this effective date, the next data would be as per the change you have made. And we'll be taking the third case wherein there is a temporary suspension or surrendering of registration of the company. So how will we deal with this? Again, we are using that F11 feature. Just a small setting we have to do. Suppose we are taking this Telangana. So Telangana status, we can see it is active. We'll do inactive. Effective date, from which date the number has been suspended. So the previous data doesn't get affected. Suppose we are putting date 1st of June. So now this GST is reflecting as inactive in tally. Now we try to pass a simple voucher sale entry under GST registration. Okay, Telangana registration. Post this surrender date or cancellation date. If we try to make bill, sale bill under this GST registration number, you won't get option to put tax amount. It's empty. You won't get option for tax amount. Again, the temporary suspension was removed. So again, we are converting this registration status to active. This will ask from which date. So we are putting the effective date, suppose 16th of June. Issues was figured out. So it is showing active status now. Again, we'll try to pass a simple voucher. Suppose on 18th of June. Under Telangana registration. So now we'll be able to put GST figures for this. And if while auditing, you want to check that what had happened to the company, what was the status from which date to which date, we can see that. Go to more details. We'll check the history of GST registration details. So we can see entire log here, from which date it got inactivated and again it resumed or it got activated from which date. So while checking the data of the client, definitely you can check this registration history, that why it was deactivated, what was the period of deactivation, and on what date again it was activated. So now the most booming topic is reconciliation of GSTR 2A and 2B. So TallyPrime has added wonderful features to reduce our reconciliation time, and definitely from jumping from Tally to another software, then uploading to GST portal and many more. So how they have seamlessly giving option for reconciliation in GST for GSTR 2A and 2B. So simplified experience of reconciliation of ITC as and when the invoice are uploaded by this supplier. So we'll see how this GST reconciliation part reflect in Prime 3.0. We'll go to GST reports. You can see reconciliation options. Suppose we are taking GST reconciliation 2A. F3, we can see multiple GST number. We just need to download the JSON and import the file here in Tally. So within few seconds, even if data is more, the JSON would be imported of 2A or 2B. So you can see this specifically bifurcating reconciled and unreconciled data. Out of unreconciled data, how many transactions are mismatched, how many transactions are only available in books, how many transactions are only available in portal, and what are the uncertain transactions and need corrections in Tally data. So we'll see B2B data. We'll take voucher-wise view. So in voucher-wise view, at many times we come to some clerical error. It's not exactly a clerical error, but difference in GSTR 2B and purchase books in terms of different document number, or some prefix is there in purchase bill, but the entry is not, the prefix has not been added in purchase data. There are some 00 numbers before the bill series, and in purchase data, definitely staff has not done that. So within few seconds, and by changing few configuration, we can remove that automatically through this reconciliation feature. You can see mismatch transaction, mismatch in period, available in books, available in portal, excluded but available on portal, and reconciled transactions. So this is reconciled transactions. So we'll go through why transactions are not reconciled. You can see this transaction. There is a special character between the document number, and while passing the purchase entry, the special character was not there. So definitely we are not going to manually change everything for this, but we'll do a simple configuration in Tally. We'll again use that F11 feature. Yeah, so we'll use the again use that F11, F12 feature configuration. We'll go to enable GST and service tax option. Suppose in Karnataka, I'm just doing ignore special characters while doing reconciliation. It will ask for effective date, from which date you need to remove the special character. Once I remove this, the entry will be automatically reconciled. Look, now it is showing under reconcile tab. So this was a normal clerical error. So here you can see 0000 in front of the document number, and purchase entry, it is not there. Again, we'll use the same feature. Suppose in Karnataka registration, ignore 0 if prefixed in supplier document number, from which effective date, so your previous data doesn't get affected. Suppose from 1st May, and I'm accepting. So this is just a one-time job you have to do for reconciliation. Once you have activated the features from next month, it will be automatically shown as reconcile. So now this entry has been shifted to reconnect. So now we can see this entry, the document number have some prefix, and in our purchase books, doesn't have prefix, but bill number is matching. So what we'll do, we'll just go to party ledger and we'll mark this option as yes, wherein ignore prefix and suffix in document number for reconciliation purpose. So what is the prefix used by them is this. Ignore prefix and suffix in the document number for reconciliation purpose from effective date. So now you'll see this entry also classified as reconciled entry. Now suppose this entry excluded but available on portal. This is available on portal, but excluded from here. Amounts and everything is matching. You can set GST status from our books as system inferred. So it will be classified as reconciled. Just because I could prima facie see there is no difference in the transactions in 2A and my books. Now this transaction, you can see the date is matching, but there is just a round off error. So just 0.4 they are putting in purchase detail, and 2A at 0.4 is not there. So I'll manually accept this entry as reconciled. And the best part is I can separately see the entry which has been manually reconciled, manually accepted as reconciled. Mismatch in return period, here it is shown 3rd May, and in 2A it is shown 3rd June. So we'll just check the invoice, what is the correct date, and we can rectify it here. What me and accept. So this is totally reconciled now. So initially we used to use many software, to or Excel sheets. We used to put various filters to remove this hyphens or special characters or prefix from the bill. And even if we use some other GST reconciliation or return filing software, there is a term known as smart reconciliation. So now Tally has also used the smart reconciliation feature, wherein just through one configuration change only once, you can remove all the special characters, you can remove prefix of specific parties, you can remove any zeros before the bill number, and etc. So the small clerical changes we need to do, and within a few seconds you will be getting your GSTR 2A or 2B reconciled. Apart from this, reconciliation of input tax credits for entire month in GSTR 2B. So now we have seen how to remove certain special characters while reconciling either from 2A or 2B. We'll see further features which is useful for this. Again, I'll go to display report, GST report, GSTR 2B. You can see here now exact how GSTR 2B is reflected on portal. The term items has been changed as per it. Part A, Part B, input tax credit unavailable, reversal of unavailable ITC. So the format has been replicated. I'm just doing to one click, I'm importing GSTR 2B, which I had downloaded a JSON file. Just putting a path here, selecting the JSON file, and reconciling. So within a few seconds, all the transactions has been imported. So here, if you can see, many bifurcations has been given. So out of 41, out of total transaction, 41 transactions are out of question now. Only 16 are unreconciled. And out of the 16, we are getting specific bifurcations why it is not reconciled. A certain uncertain transactions also. We can see detailed view of return here. We can see summary view as well. So where is the difference we'll be able to figure out? B2B transactions. There's a difference in B2, major difference in B2B transactions. Can view here, where is the difference? We can view through voucher types. Voucher wise also we can view. Invoice wise we can view. So as already discussed in previous slide, we can definitely remove special characters. So this ITC available or not column has been added in 3.0. It was not there in previous version. If ITC is not available, but the transaction is reconciled, it will show why, the reason why the ITC is not available. Here you can see ITC is not available because POS and buyer states are different. So ITC is not available for this transaction. So this reason has been added in 3.2. It was not there in previous versions. Detailed view I'm taking. So it is so systematically given. I can see status, how I have reconciled 2A, 2B, and 3B through GST status. We can put effective date of return, at what date we have downloaded this 2A in the tally, and what date is of reconciliation. So any further changes in 2A can be reflected separately. So we can see portal view. If we go to related report in any specific transaction, GST portal view of the invoice, how this invoice is reflecting at portal, GSTR 2B. 2B, it is reflected in this way. We can see it for 2A also. We can compare it with our books also. In books, we have passed this sort of entries. We can compare invoice to invoice. So we can compare it for 2B also. We can compare it for 2A also. Any specific transactions. We can see basis of value. We can see show report details on the basis of, suppose I just need to see unreconciled transactions. So we can filter it out. Only unreconciled transaction. If I want to see only available in books transaction, it is possible. If I want to see only available in portal transaction, that filter is also possible. So one question, do we have any predictive mechanism to suggest the closest match of the transaction in tally data versus portal data during reconciliation process? Yes, we have that option. Sometimes every required field matches except one in a transaction. All field matched except GSTN of supplier, whereas 0 was replaced by O or something, some small clerical error. In this case, for reconciliation screen, we press F12 and enable show potential mismatches between books and portal. So it will show you a summary of potential mismatch between books and portal, where there is all the transactions are matching, but there is some clerical small error in either GST number or either bill series or etc. So through that feature, you will be able to match this reconciliation process smartly. So this was all about GST reconciliation. So in previous version, many changes we used to do for this reconciliation manually, or the company's accountants used to do this manually. But now they have added certain features through that smart reconciliation can be done, and it will save definitely a lot of time of our professionals. So they have added some features and filters in GST rate setup also. So they have given this effective date feature in GST rate setup also. So usually while filing the GST returns, or while doing GST audits through 9C, or filing annual return, at times we try to reconcile HSN summary for purchases also. So from purchase register, we can get HSN summary for purchase bill. But what about the expenses? So how do you classify the expenses where you don't need to manage a stock, but you just need to put GST rate entry in the software? So we'll see one example. How does it happen? So through simple setup of GST configuration and HSN, you get this flexibly done. So how we can do that? We'll go to alter. We'll take a stock item, any stock item. Here HSN details, GST rate and related details. Every details you'll be seeing here only. You don't need to jump to one or the other option to figure this out. So for this stock item, every options you'll be seeing here itself. If I go to particular ledger, suppose printing and stationery ledger, which is classified as indirect expenses. So the HSN related details I need to put for this. So I have some options: specify detail here, specifying voucher, use GST classifications, etc. So I'm just passing one entry. For purchase of printing and stationery, usually I don't manage any stock of printing and stationeries. Here I can put specified details. I can put rate, what I'm buying, uska HSN SAC code. Suppose this is the HSN code. I'm buying paper sheets. Under same bill, I have multiple items with multiple GST rates. One more entry I'm putting with GST rate 12%, specified HSN in the bill, and description, visitor book. So I can pass multiple entries without creating stock and with multiple GST rates. So if I go to related report and do a tax analysis of this entry, detailed mode, I'll be seeing different GST rates plus different HSN codes under same bill, and for which definitely I don't need to maintain a stock. I'll go to display more reports. I'll go to GST utility. I'll do rate setup. Any stock I'm taking randomly, I can see rate wise stock. No stock was created for the printing and stationery stuff here. This is my regular stock. I'm just activating all the configuration. I can see rate wise. I can see what is the source of GST details. From where did I fetch this GST rate? From stock groups, or I've manually added. So we saw how we passed a voucher entry for purchase of some stationery items or some XYZ items for which we don't need to create a stock, or we don't need to touch our inventories for that. So in single voucher, we used multiple GST rates with multiple HSN and item codes. So without touching any specific inventory for the same, and definitely through that rate setup utility, we can see entire stock, what are the stock, what is the GST rate, what is the source of this GST rate, if we are putting that manually, how we put, or it is fetching GST rate from their specific stock group category or etc. So through one click, it is possible. Definitely, it was not possible in previous versions of Tally, but this feature has been added in Tally 3.0. And the way this printing and stationery transaction was booked, definitely it will be very much helpful for us while compiling the HSN for inward details. I can see the tax rate setup details for services and expenses ledger, as this would be required in service industry. Yes, we can put this for goods as well as for service voucher types also. So what you need to do is just go to TallyPrime 3.0. The simple report has been provided under display more reports, GST reports. Under GST reports, use feature of GST utility and set up your rate there. You can set up your rate manually, or you can set up it as we have done while passing the voucher entry. So while checking, it would be easier for us to bifurcate between this expenses and inventories and everything. And definitely this data will be fetched while reconciling our 2A and 2B bills. So uncertain resolution, this is the biggest headache. Usually me or my staff or my client's accountant file while filing the GST returns to clear the uncertain transactions which is showing in GSTR 2A 2B, because we'll only be able to reconcile this data 2A and 2B through TallyPrime only if they are passing correct entries. If they are not passing correct entries, then it would be very difficult to us for resolving these issues. So certain filters have surely been added to reduce this headache also. So what are the features we'll see? We'll go to display more reports, GST reports, GSTR 3B. We'll change the period. This is for all registration. There are uncertain transaction. There are 24 uncertain transaction. Just so you can see there are certain uncertain transactions here. There are 24 uncertain transactions. So now what 3.0 has given added benefit to this feature is they have bifurcated कि ये जो 24 mismatches और corrections है वो कौन से area में है. Specifically, GST number details has not been given in the ledger. HSN details has not been given. This code has not been mentioned. So further with detailed configuration, we can see where the error exactly is. Is it in sales voucher or purchase voucher or any other voucher? So this 24 transaction has been further classified into different heads: outward supply, inward supply. So if we just go through these transactions, we'll see this GST registration details of party are invalid. You can see this party where the GST registration details seems to be invalid. We'll see party-wise details. Here, GST number has not been mentioned. GST place state. We are just putting a GST number. Definitely, this will ask for effective date, and please put this effective date. Suppose we are putting the effective date and clearing this error. So all three errors has been removed. through one click. Suppose we take taxability type is invalid or not specified. Both the transactions can be seen in sale voucher also, in purchase voucher also. Suppose we are taking this outward supply sale voucher. This is purchase voucher. We'll try to resolve this. You can see this item showing invalid taxability. Just a one click, there was some rate issues in it and it has been resolved. Similarly, tax rate is not specified. I'll just go and check the stock. So here the sale common ledger was shown as 0. I just classified it under proper head. So it has been resolved. Similarly, here the symbol is not specified. I'll just specify it from which effective date, using the effective date. And this uncertainty has been resolved. So there are so many options for this. Supplier invoice number is incorrect and not specified in purchase register. So the credit is not reflecting in our report. So we are just putting the invoice number. We don't even need to take out the entire purchase bill. We are just putting it through one click and the thing is resolved. Mismatch between expected tax, which is modified manually. Here you can see CGST is correct, but SGST is different. Wrong entry has been passed. So we'll just go and change the amount and rectify the entry. So through one place only, through one report only, we can rectify all the uncertainties which is shown while filing the return. Similarly, there are so many heads, mismatch in GST registration details between GST registration and master data. So I have option, as per transaction, it is different. Place of supply is Uttar Pradesh and one is Karnataka. So I just need to figure out which is correct. Here you can see what I'll do, replicate, apply the changes from master data to transaction or transaction to master data, vice versa, master to transaction. So here it is matched and the error has been resolved. So this is small clerical error which we used to, go and check in previous versions. So now through this one single report, we can change the uncertain transaction, or we can ask the accountants of the client to resolve this uncertain transaction. So as similarly, we have seen reconciliation of 2A, 2B and this error resolving filters in just one click. This report is very effective, as you can see bifurcation of all the errors of all the entry during the month under single head. Similarly, we can reconcile GSTR1 return also if not filed from Tally, and you need to check that all the entries in GSTR1 is matching with our books of accounts or not. In similar way, you can go to GSTR1 report. You just need to download the JSON file from the portal, import that JSON file in GSTR1 reconciliation reports, and within few seconds, you will be getting reconciliation reports for GSTR1 also. Just so we have seen how this filter is benefiting us while complying with GST compliances. Here, the data you have seen was minimum. Definitely, we have seen multiple entries and mismatches while filing GSTR 3B or GSTR 1 or reconciling GSTR 2. Definitely, this would be very useful, as of now, I have converted all my clients' data to 3.0 just to use this feature, because trust me, you will feel uncomfortable just once while exploring this features. But once you started using this GST compliance feature, you don't need any other software for GST reconciliation except this software. But for that also, definitely the accountants must pass proper voucher entries to to ease this reconciliation process. So we'll see one more feature. We've seen uncertain resolution. So one business use case. Due to many business scenarios, there will be a case in business which where you'll need to insert or delete any specific voucher. They don't want to impact the sequence series of the vouchers, which may cause terrible trouble later. So how can we do this? So there are certain transactions where we just need to change the voucher number, or we'll go backdated, delete some wrong vouchers, or we have skipped putting some voucher on the backdated and we need to put that voucher on backdated. So without disturbing other vouchers numbers, how we can do that? So this feature will remove the cascading effect of the voucher number from the transaction. So sometimes unintentionally the voucher get missed and it becomes an urgent need for business to record this missed transactions. However, inserting any new voucher between the sequential series become a serious problem, since it affects the cascading effect to the voucher numbers. So without disturbing other voucher number, how we can do that? So inserting and deleting any specific voucher without disturbing other voucher numbers. We'll see. I'm just going to alter voucher type, suppose using sales order. I'm just changing the method of vouching to automatic, but retain original voucher number. Rather than renumbering, I'm using the feature retain original voucher. Now, if I go and check this voucher type, I'll go to display, table, voucher type. I'm taking sales order. You can see all sequence series from 1 to 6, proper dates. Now, I have to pass one backdated entry. I need to insert voucher. So suppose 15th was the last date of voucher entry. I'm using 9th of May. So without just putting a normal entry, without disturbing the sequence, now on 9th May, you can see the voucher series as 7. On 15th, it is 6. So even if I have jumbled up with the dates, the voucher number remains constant. Suppose I need to remove this voucher. I'm deleting this voucher. Still, my sequence of other transaction remains unchanged. This is the add-on feature for voucher numbering, which has been given in TallyPrime 3.0. So definitely, if we are using audit log feature in a private company, which is mandatory from 1st April 2023, this feature would work, but definitely it would be reflected in audit logs. Now, the question usually asked is, can I reuse any voucher number in case that got deleted accidentally? Yes, we can reuse that voucher number. How we can do that? You just need to go to voucher, more details, voucher number details, select voucher series, select unused voucher numbers, and you will get all the list of deleted vouchers. So even if you want to check that certain vouchers are deleted in one report, you can check through this sequence. So what are the other GST enhancement? Party-wise purchase detail is GSTR 4 can be seen. ITC reversal as per new format in 3B can be seen. Tally.net remote users will be able to access statutory reports. Tax liability on advance payment and receipt can be handled. So these are the enhanced features of GST. So this was about the GST. Now they have given very user friendly filters for us to filter certain transaction which we usually used to jumble from one ledger to another ledger. And definitely this filter can be used while conducting ledger scrutiny and audit, and this filter can be definitely saved also while doing the audit. So what are these enhanced features? Enhanced experience to filter the report instantly while providing you with various insights. We'll see some of the features, which is definitely very useful for us. We'll go to display more reports, account books. I'm going to sale register. This is my sale register, changing the period. Using this apply filter option, I am looking for cash transactions. So within a one click, all the cash transactions will be displayed through this feature. I'll again use this filter feature, apply filter. I want name Deepak from amongst all the sale transaction. So here you can see two transaction filtered out of all. If we go to filter details, the party name is Deepak Tiwari here. So it has been filtered. Again, I apply filter. I want to check this number 3747 figure. So these are the filter entries. Filter details, if we go here, the address is showing 3747. So the entry has been filtered. Here GRN number contains 3747. So entry has been filtered. So not only amount, it will filter through narrations and other details also. Here the ledger amount is 3747. So it has been filtered. Here the item description contains serial number which is 3747. So who are maintaining stock with serial number, it would be very easier for you to use this filter. I'm doing additional filter. I want to see vehicle number containing this number 3737. Filter two entries. If I see filter details, here the vehicle number is showing 3747. Also vehicle number is showing 3747. So from where they have fetched this detail? From the e-way bill details, the vehicle number 3747 has been fetched. So very useful filtering options. We don't need to select range or permutations or combinations or anything. Simple filter option given on the right side of the tally. You just use filter option that way. Whatever you put in any entries, even in narration, even address, even you saw the vehicle number, GRN number, wherever the specific mentioning filter is specified, every single entry from that filter will be shown. Apart from this, there are more filters given to simplify ledger scrutiny or finding specific things from tally data. What it is, we'll see. I'm just going to display more reports. Daybook. I'll apply filter. I'm looking for Sundays. Entries which has been passed on Sundays. So all the entries which was passed on holiday is showing. If I go and see filter details, 3rd of April was Sunday. Again, I'm changing filter. I'm checking what are the vouchers cancelled during the year. So within a click, I could filter cancelled vouchers. Again, I'm using this filter option. I'm using this 2 option, multi-filter and advanced filter. If I go to this multi-filter option, I can give commutations and combinations also. I need to check ledger names containing cash at KA branch, suppose, and ledger amount which is greater than or equal to 10,000 rupees. So voucher type, I'm just concerned with payments. So I'll filter payments. So from entire transaction, the transactions, payment vouchers above 10,000 in particular day has been filtered out. And definitely, if I go to chart of accounts, I'll check any particular stock item. I'll change the view. I'll apply filter here in stock item. I'm looking for, I'll configure. I'm looking for HSN SAC codes as empty. So from entire tally data from entire stock items whose HSN has not been added, it will be filtered. Sure, you can see HSN details has not been mentioned. So if we clear all this, the uncertain items will definitely be reduced while filing the GST returns. So this is a simple technique where we just saw through one filter, we got entire list of stock item wherein GST number, wherein HSN number was not available. And definitely we have feature of saving this filter. Once we have used this filter, we can save this filter for our future use. So we don't need to, again go through every filter feature and again do it again. We have to select range. We just need to go to that report. Suppose that cash feature we have seen, we have filtered all the transaction above 10,000 in payments. I just need to click to save feature of this filter. If I save this feature, next time when I want to open this, it will be shown on the face of the tally. So get deeper with your reports by selecting range of fields and list of existing masters to get desired reports. We'll see one more example. I'm going to display reports, playbook, changing the period, applying filter, multi-filter I'm using. There are so many options to filter: narration, voucher name, bill number, item details, cost centers, mailing details, orders and dispatch details, GST details. As much as you think the feature is available for filtering: e-way bill, e-invoicing, excise detail, banking details, voucher status. Suppose I'm again filtering ledger name equal to, suppose cash, again, same filter I'm using, amount greater than 10,000. I'm just concerned with payments. So I am putting payment voucher type here. So this is the thing, and here I'm using save view option. So I'm putting the name cash payments above 10,000. I can save this as default view also. I can save it for this company, for multiple companies, howsoever I want. And accept. So whenever I use that go-to feature, this save view can be seen on the face of the report. So here you can save n number of filters you want. You just need to do it once, save that view, and through that go-to option, you will be able to fetch entire saved filter details from the same company or from the multiple companies you want. So can we use the filter capabilities to get the day book for each registration, GST registration? Yes, if you are using multiple GST registration, you have option to bifurcate through GST registrations also, and you can save that view also. And definitely there are a list of almost 120 plus fields which can be filtered to get your desired report. And the best thing is you can save that filtration. You don't need to repeat it for many companies. So this was all about the filters. This is some important filters which we used. We can definitely use while conducting the audits. Certain reconciliation we have seen. One more wonderful feature which Tally 3.0 has added is this payment request option. So how this payment request option can be used? This is something very useful for the companies, for our clients. I'm just using F11, F12 feature, enable payment request to share QR. I can put any UPI Razorpay details I want here. Suppose I'm putting Kotak UPI payment details. I'm putting a valid UPI ID, merchant name. You want to create more profiles, you can do it from here itself. Yes. So due to some technical reason, this Paytm option has been removed by Tally 3.0. So you have option for UPI and other options. This Paytm has been removed. So we'll put ID, registered number. Here. We have accepted. So this is how we can put payment details here. Now, how this payment details will be reflected in your invoices, we'll see directly. Either link you can print it in your invoice, or a specific QR will be seen at the invoices. We'll see. We go to display more reports, table, taking some invoice using this exchange option. Generate payment link or QR for current transaction. I'm using Kotak UPI or Paytm, whatever you want. Suppose using any one of it, amount has been defined. So QR has been successfully generated for this invoice. So we'll see how it reflects on your invoice, tax invoice. Current. We'll see, we'll configure. We'll configure and payments. What do you want to add? You want to add a link and QR, or only QR? I want to add only QR to my tax invoice. So this is preview of it. Here you can see a payment QR has been generated here. So by scanning this QR, the payment can be effectively done. Suppose I want to mail this bill, email this bill. So I want link also, and I want to send it through email or SMS. So I'll put the registered dealer's mobile number, email address, and accept. So link is generated and it will be sent to the respective registered number and ID. We'll see the preview of this bill. First we'll configure. I want to see QR plus link. So if they click on link, the payment can be done through the link also. So I've enabled link and QR both. So here you can see the payment link along with the QR has been generated in this bill. And this has been sent via email and SMS or via email or SMS to the requisite person. So generate payment links for parties which are not available in the masters. अब जो पार्टी मास्टर्स में अवेलेबल नहीं है क्या उसके लिए पेमेंट लिंक जनरेट हो सकती है? डेफिनेटली दिस वी कैन आल्सो यूज फॉर सेंडिंग बिल्स टू आवर क्लाइंट्स. Just using others from exchange option. I'm using whatsoever option. I want to send it through email, SMS or both. I'm putting a party name which is not available here. I'm creating a party from here itself. I'm putting a valid mobile number, email ID, the amount which they need to pay. So the payment link has been successfully generated and sent to requisite person. So how this link will be received by the party and payment will be made. So this is how it will be reflected to the person to whom the link has been sent. Payment requested by Tally Solution Private Limited, reference number issued to so and so, and the amount. So this is how it works. You can see the details, how it is shown. Payment request from Tally. They can just with one click proceed with the payment. Put the contact details through mobile. How they are paying. Directly payment will be done on the respective UPI ID or Paytm or whatsoever you have defined for. So this is how payment can be done through generating QR and links on the tax invoices. And definitely this is not going to disturb e-invoicing part also. So apart from along with that e-invoicing thing, this can be done by the clients and the payments can be received. So saving the payment link and QR in the voucher and filtering the voucher, having links and QR, yes, it can be done. So I just need to check for which vouchers this QR was sent or link was sent. I'll just go to option. I'll go to this receivable option. Just taking the party. Generate QR for current. On this email ID and mobile number, it will be sent. Do you want to save the payment link in the selected voucher? Yes, I'll save the link in the selected voucher. So you can see this voucher. I'll go to related report. I'll just go and go and check payment link and QR. This is the payment link and QR. I can see what I have printed on the bill. I can just use copy link option. I can copy the link and send it to the person. So what are the bases of the value? Status of bill I can see with or without payments. With QR, with link, with both. I can filter transactions from here. So this is the filter transaction for which links was sent. So this is how the payment feature has been added to TallyPrime, which seems to be really useful. So why we need to update it to our Tally to 3.0 is you get consolidated business reports for GST for all GSTINs. Plus you get different reports for different GSTIN as per your need. You can use the filters, you can save the filters for different periods for filing this GST return. And the cascading effects through insertion or deletion in voucher numbers has been figured out. So you can very well use this feature of cascading effect of vouchers. It is flexible to handle the party registration type by categorizing transaction for GST return and get consolidated outstanding report. You don't need to maintain multiple tally data and definitely jumble up with outstanding reports. It can be done through single tally data. It is easy to configure GST rates, HSN rates in GST reports. Definitely, I've shown you that GST utility feature wherein you can check कौन से item में HSN number छूट गया है, what are the rates for different items, how is the stock structure going. We have seen one entry wherein you can put multiple GST rates and HSN code without giving effect to inventories. Then instant access to GST returns, so and get the latest formats of the return. Definitely in previous version of Tally, when we used to generate any GSTR1 or GSTR3B or GSTR2 report from Tally, the downtime was really high if the entries are much more. So now that downtime has been removed and you get reports more faster. Simple process for reconciliation of 2A and 2B, and forgot the fear of ITC blockage. Definitely reconciliation of 2A and 2B now can be done through TallyPrime. You don't need to jumble up with other softwares to get the reports. Every sort of reports can be generated through Tally. You say it as a sale HSN report, purchase HSN report, proper sale register as per your format, purchase register, expense register, whatever you want can be figured out from Tally itself. Provide a seamless payment experience to pay simply by creating payment links. Definitely you can create payment links and QR and save it here and can send it to customers for payment. Easy access to complex desired report with simple yet powerful filter capabilities. So we have seen amazing filtering features, which can be definitely saved for future use for the same company, for multiple companies, etc. So this filter feature is very useful in 3.0, which is not available in previous versions of TallyPrime. So if any specific queries, I think Mr. Parth have attended almost every query which was given in Q&A boxes. But still, if you have any specific query, you can put it on mail to me. I'll definitely get back to you on specific queries of TallyPrime. I can see certain queries are still open. Parts J, are you available? I think he is putting an answer to that query. Yeah, so I think every possible queries has been answered by CA Parth. Apart from this, if your queries are unanswered, definitely you can stay in touch. You can put me an email on this email ID. I'll get back to you. You can get in touch with WIRC for your any queries. Your query will reach to us. So any specific queries you want to ask or any specific automation you need in your day-to-day compliances, you can get in touch with us. Sorry, this email has been wrongly Yahoo. So this is the correct email ID. I'll put it in chat box also. So you can stay in touch with me. Parth, is any other questions are open?
Right?
Yeah.
The question is to sharing PPT and how about the
Yeah, the PPT will be uploaded on the WIRC portal. You can download it from there. Can we do annual GST reconciliation in one go? Yes, Mr. Parth is replying to that. Please show 2B reconciliation. The way I have shown GSTR 2A reconciliation, similar way 2B reconciliation can be done. You just need to download JSON from the portal and import it to GSTR 2 reconciliation option given here. Can you share the PPT? Yes, it will be shared by WIRC. Is there a way to generate JSON for GSTR1 more than once? I didn't get you. You can generate GSTR JSON files directly from Tally and upload it to portal directly. And definitely you can generate multiple JSON for multiple GSTIN. And apart from this, definitely if you need any specific MIS reports or you need financials or you need expenses categorization for your multiple branches or multiple GSTIN, yes, it can be customized with some small changes. You can get that, or you can get your MIS reports regularly from Tally. But the feature is not inbuilt yet. But yes, it is possible. I think almost every query has been resolved. PPT, yes, PPT will be shared.
So Dhara ma'am, there is one question.
Yeah.
Close 40 for working can be taken from this?
No, not
so-
exactly. We have to work it out for exact report which is required for clause 40. Breakup of expenditure, we need to apply certain filters and figure out if automatic report won't be generated from here. I hope you enjoyed the session and you got to know some good features of TallyPrime 3.0.
Any other questions, anyone? Otherwise, we can close the meeting.
Or any other specific questions you have, you can put a mail to WIRC. So we'll get in touch.
So I think no participants don't have any questions, Dhara. So
Yes.
thank you so much for giving such a great introduction to TallyPrime new GST law I think it will make our lives easier a bit this time. And hopefully we'll be able to finish it before time, these things now, because that was a chaos which was there for GST thing. Thank you, Parth, also for sharing all the answers and giving us all the answers. So Dhara and Parth, thank you so much. And we hope we have a good GST year this year and from now on, hopefully.
Yes.
Thank you
sure.
so much on behalf of WRC.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we close the meeting now, okay? Thank you.